I forgot to mention this in the video I did about the Wilder Hellenius fight being announced. And that is this quote from Deontay Wilder, why he decided to come back. And really, when I read this, I was laughing out loud. He said here, once I got my statue in my hometown and saw so many people arrive and celebrate with me and my family, to see all the emotions, grown men crying in front of their children and saying he is a real true king, made me feel like my job is not done. I mean, unbelievable. Grown men crying in front of the Deontay Wilder statue saying he is a real true king. I mean, I hope they were tears of laughter. That's all I can say. What kind of grown man? Well, did you see the unveiling of that statue? I'm not sure how many of you saw that video. The whole thing was like comical. It was like a parody or something. And Wilder saying it was grown men crying and he's a real true king. Wilder's a trip, man. He's just away with the fairies completely. But he is a very, very strong-willed individual with a real strong right hand and a lot of athleticism. And that makes him dangerous. So as much as I mock his personality and the nonsense that he comes out with outside the ring, inside the ring, I've always taken Wilder very seriously. There was a long time where I was one of the few people on YouTube in terms of content creators who was taking Wilder seriously. Most people dismissed him and said that he's a bum and that he, leaps off the ground when he throws punches, and they were all mocking him. And I said, yeah, okay, he's got technical issues, but he makes up for a lot of the issues with that tremendous right hand he's got, the knack he has of landing it, and this very, very strong will that he has, and the speed, of course, the athleticism. People were far too focused on Wilder's weaknesses to the point where they completely overlooked his strengths. And I think Wilder's a dangerous man. I think he's dangerous for anybody. Even in the third Fury fight you saw there, that he's like a wounded animal. You think you've got him, but no. He can come out with that big right hand and drop the guy who most people believe is the best in the division in Tyson Fury. So yeah, I've always taken Wilder seriously as a fighter, but outside the ring, he comes across as a clown to me, like a guy who doesn't realize he's a clown, but is a clown. And because he's not very intelligent, the people around him, the Shelley Finkles and the Al Haymans, just fill his head with all types of nonsense and manipulate him. And they have steered Wilder's career in such a way that they are looking out for their best interests and the best interests of the networks that they put fights on, more so than Wilder himself. Why else would they tell him to turn down that $100 million+ DAZN deal? It's because they're thinking in the best interests of Fox or Showtime or whatever, not Deontay Wilder. That's why, in my view. So that is what that is. Also, Deontay Wilder's wife or fiance, I'm not sure whether he's actually married to her. Some people have, talked about her basically charging Deontay Wilder up, telling him you're a king and this, that, and the other. I'm sure that goes on. I'm sure Wilder's got a bunch of people around him that tell him all this stuff. I suspect, Wilder says that he's made more money now, or he's making more money now outside of boxing than he's making in boxing. Does that mean that he hasn't made as much in boxing as we think? Or does that mean that there's some really smart people around him making business decisions? I suspect, I could be wrong, but I suspect that his wife is business-minded. She just looks like the type who's business-minded. And I suspect that she has pointed Wilder in the right direction on certain things. And of course, he's got some actual business people around him. He does have the Al Haymans and what have you, who are there to advise him as well. So yeah, that's just my take. And I did want to mention this quote here from Wilder because it made me laugh out loud. Like grown men crying in front of the statue. As I say, I hope that was tears of laughter. The quote continues anyway, and he said, "So I'm here once again, looking forward to returning to the ring. I'm looking forward to coming to the Barclays Center, a place where I've had my most devastating knockouts and a place I consider my second home. So where all my bomb squad people at. It's time to put on your war gear and let's go to work, baby. Bomb Squad is back. All right, so the Robert Helenius fight, we'll see how that goes. Again, Helenius is dangerous. I'm expecting Wilder to win. He should be winning, but Helenius is real dangerous. And if Wilder gets clipped with a big right hand, even Helenius' jab might be an issue. If Helenius has got the confidence to get that pop in, then it's not beyond the realms of possibility at all that Helenius could win this fight, especially coming into it with the confidence he has after beating Kaunaki back to back. So that is what that is. I saw an interview with Frank Warren today where he seems to believe that they can't actually strip Tyson Fury of his WBC belt right now. He apparently has looked at the rules and he says that this deadline is, a load of nonsense. The deadline the WBC have given, I think it's like a week from now or something like that, to tell them whether he's retiring. Frank Warren seems to think it's nonsense and Fury can hold on to the belt without defending it for a long time yet. Well, let's hope that Frank Warren is wrong. Let's hope he's wrong, because we don't need the division to become stagnated. We need to keep the belts active. We need to have regular title fights for all of them. I don't like these situations where guys holding a belt and coming out of retirement when he wants. I don't like that kind of stuff. It's not good for the sport. It's not good for the division. And Frank Warren knows it isn't good for the division. But because he represents Fury, obviously, he's coming from a biased perspective. He always acts like he does things for the fans and whatever. We know that's a load of rubbish. He does things for himself. He has to say it's for the fans to make people buy into what he's saying. But it's really for himself. So anyway, that's my take on Deontay Wilder's reason for coming back. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high-quality MP3. We've also got an Element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, it's decentralized, and it's 100% censorship-free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.